And let's speak to Clay in Texas, listening on 90.1 FM. Welcome, Clay.
Thanks for having me on, Alex. I love your show, and it was great meeting you at the Capitol about a month ago at the TSA protest.
Absolutely.
Well, should I just go ahead and tell what happened?
Tell what happened. I didn't screen your call. I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Well, it really started last week on August 18th. And we've been getting a group together and going down to City Hall and finding items we find objectionable and then just going up there and giving our public input. And only really on 8% of all the items they consider, like Ronnie was saying. Can
you imagine the evil of citizens actually going to a government building where citizens are always supposed to, I mean, in the old-fashioned times, everybody in the town got in there, and then they would vote, and then they'd have some town officers that would handle, their orders. I mean, you went and tried to speak in a communication as state law states. Man, what type of, next you're going to say you wanted to have a garden. You people. So what happened? What happened?
Well, what happened was August 18th, me and Ronnie were down there, and we had both signed up for about 15 items. And I had confirmed with the city clerk that I was signed up for those items. Then it's 1 minute before the meeting starts, and they start saying, no, you can't sign up for you can't talk on more than 3 items, period.
Well, what you do is you organize everybody now to sue them over this, and at the same time while the suit's going, you have like 50 people go down and all sign up for 3 because they don't want to hear from you. They want to give millions to Formula One. They want to take more people's property. They want to shut down more power plants. They want to put carbon taxes in. They want to rob us 7 ways to Sunday. And it's up to Austinites and other people around the country to start seeing these globalist city councils for what they are. Pimps of the New World Order.
Yes, sir. And I'll say that yesterday I was denied my First Amendment rights to speak on Barton Springs pool issue, also the tasers issue. APD, they just authorized, I think unanimously, 6-0 with one council member gone, $600,000 for tasers. So I'll do whatever is necessary. I'll file a lawsuit. I'll run for council myself.
You're not allowed to speak out about the fact that people are dying all the time and they've upped the power of the tasers. You think in land of the slave, home of the coward, that George Washington would be incensed. George Washington fought so that you not be allowed to speak at a city council meeting and so you could be tasered to death. George Washington fought so Amish would be arrested for milk. He fought so you couldn't sell lemonade on the street corner. He fought so you can't have a garden. You people are the ones destroying America, and Ron Paul is too. Goldman Sachs is good. They made the grass come up this morning. They made the sun shine. They gave us oxygen. And thank goodness they're going to tax carbon dioxide. You people, what have you become? Do you want to apologize right now, Clay, to the world for the fact that you don't love Lee Leffingwell prancing around running his ops? You scum American. You're there to lick his boots. I bet you don't like the CIA being in the Threat Fusion Center violating federal law here in Austin, or the face scanning cameras, or all the narcotics that are brought into town. You people.
No, sir. And that's, you're taking Leffingwell's line, and I think he owes us an apology. No. I think Leffingwell should apologize to each and one of us personally because he's restricting me. I said, look, how can I help?
You don't have a name like Trendywell. Dude, that guy's trendy. He waddles around and lives in Terrytown. You're not trendy.
This is something out of a movie almost. The footage I got yesterday of Ronnie, which is not posted yet. We need to edit it tonight. I'm waiting for this guy to get out of class so we can do it. And it's going to be major. It is it's on a HD camera. And
so what happened? Tell us what happened.
Well, Ronnie just said his name, and the mayor went crazy. He blew a fuse. He looked like a madman up there.
He's a good man.
He's a good man. Out. And it was all on film. We got John Bush. Random people were standing up, Alex, and saying, you can't do that. You can't do that. People, we weren't even...
And I heard they were thrown out as well.
Yeah, they were threatened with getting thrown out, all sorts of things, Alex.
I mean, look, extremist. The Federal Reserve rules us. We ought to thank them and ban all freedom. How dare you? Incredible news at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I can't believe the information we break. Norwegian police have confirmed a drill identical to Breivik's attack. We first reported on this back at the time when the tragic shootings happened. But now it's been confirmed by the police. Very powerful article by Kurt Nimmo. Also, Time Magazine pins 5-page spread to convince America Ron Paul can't win. We're going to be talking to Lou Rockwell here in just a moment about that. Also, I want to get a little bit into the hurricane set to hit the East Coast and go right through New York and other areas. Got to pray for all those folks in those areas and hope that it weakens. Also, Gaddafi's desperate bid to save regime revealed. Secret documents to tell clandestine lobbying of NATO and even Obama following fear of full-scale U.S. invasion. And it turns out he'd been given information through his congressional sources and others that they were looking at a U.S. NATO-backed invasion. This is from Gaddafi's camp, either in September or October. That was the exact info I got from Fort Hood, Fort Benning, Georgia, and other sources. In fact, I've asked Watson to do a flashback to that to point that out to listeners. Another thing that we accurately broke down. And now they're admitting that 6 months ago, they already had U.S. forces and others there backing the Gaddafi rebels. By the way, it's confirmed the Libyan rebels are raping women and children, murdering people en masse. They tried to arrest mainline, big-time, famous French journalist Thierry Meyssan until the Red Cross went and got him released. They were probably going to line him up and kill him. These are some really nice people. It looks like central casting out of an Al-Qaeda reunion or something. But, I'm sorry. I want to go to your phone calls in this segment, the next, and then we're going to get Bob Chapman on and cover the economy, but then I'm going to go through a smattering of the news we haven't gotten to yet and get Bob's take on it, because I always enjoy getting Bob's unique perspective on things. And let's go ahead and go to your phone calls. You know, I've done 2 hours and almost 2 hours of radio here, and I haven't plugged the fact that if you want to support the broadcast, please spread the word about the radio show, no matter how you listen. AM, FM, global shortwave, XM satellite, the internet at Infowars.com. Don't forget the free podcast, the free iPhone app. There's Droid apps out there that others have made as well that are free. Sometimes I get complaints about them, though, but they're not our apps. So our app's free, so you really can't complain too much about something that's free, even though our app has 4.5 stars. The point is, you're awake. You know what's going on. Help reach out to others. We're in a battle against corruption. We're seeing the fact that when we do take action, we have victories. But the establishment knows that and is going into high gear. We are in a race to the finish line against these tyrants. So please think about the radio show, spread the word about the broadcast, and also check out the online video bookstore at Infowars.com this weekend. Right now, let's go to James in Arizona. Thanks for holding her on the air.
Hey, Alex, it's me, James. I'm the Marine who called in saying that the military's waking up a week ago or so. And
yes.
Yeah, so I've got some information for you. I've actually got a couple of things. One thing is from my many sources that they were, and it's very vague, the information I got, is that they were exploring invading Libya. That somewhere along in the unit that one of my friends is in, they were exploring, and he wouldn't say who or what part of the unit was doing it, they were exploring invading Libya. Also, I have information about the military retirement plan, and apparently back on July 21st of this year, a month ago.
Yeah, they launched a new commission that's going to give regular enlisted a little bit of money to sell them on it, and then basically take, this is even in the Associated Press, half of the pension money of 20-year people and more. I'm sorry. Tell me what you learned.
Okay, so I actually have the slideshow. It was forwarded around. I have the emails, and I can forward you the emails, and I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up. I can send that stuff to you. I don't really know how it works, but I have the emails, the chain of emails, and the actual slideshow from this presentation. I don't know if it's official. It looks official to me, and it went through the actual chain of command in one of the units. So it's the Defense Business Board, and it's modernizing the military retirement system, and it shows all these different think tanks and the RAND corporations on there, and my friends are really starting to wake up now because I've been talking about the RAND Corporation, and they see that now in that slideshow. So they're like, hey, you know, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, the RAND Corporation came up with all the major scams, almost all of them. Like they said, if we tell people to do a deductible, that will train them to start paying for insurance, even though they've paid for it, that you've got to pay later, and then we can phase in, and then they wrote the handbook on this 50 years ago, then we can phase in things we don't cover. Before it was just they covered everything. You got insurance, they covered it. I mean, every scam you can imagine, every word game. And I actually saw RAND Corporation mentioned in this, but yes, I'm going to put you on hold, my friend, and give you an email to send those goodies to. Continuing with your phone calls. Bob Chapman coming up in the next segment in a plethora. That's a wide spectrum of news and information. Would you say I am a plethora? I got to watch The Three Amigos again. I was listening to Charlie Hodge locally earlier in the week and just playing clips on it. It's so funny. Let's go ahead and talk to Mike in Denver. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for having me. I know our time's growing short as a republic, and I think I've got three solutions, quick solutions I'd just like your comments on. First one would be we physically take this place back like our forefathers did, which is the least desirable way. The second one is to hold the Federal Reserve Act up against Article 1, Section 8, Paragraph 5 of the Constitution in the Supreme Court and see if we can get it overturned. Third solution is to support Ron Paul all the way to office and then support him every day by emailing and calling legislators and telling them to stay on board.
Well, those are all things that are avenues that could be gone down. I'm not saying I want offensive physical action. I'm saying obviously the cartridge box is always an option. But I think more important is just get the spirit of liberty out there. Create a culture of liberty. Rediscover that, hey, folks, watching football and acting cool, that's not what's valuable. All you men going around to barbecues, standing around going, look at my muscles, I'm tough. You know, you should be at the city council. You should be running for office. You should be standing up and going to your neighborhood meetings. You should be involved in the machinery of the world. But, I mean, a man doesn't just go, I got stuff to do. I'm not involved in that. Believe me, I'd like to be fishing every weekend. I'd like to be camping every weekend. I'd like to be hiking. I'd like to go to Monument Valley, Utah. I'd like to, go to Colorado. I'd like to go. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it because total tyranny's coming down on us. And folks are going to learn later. See, we're planting seeds right now, brother. Stuff's going to get so horrible in the future that there's millions and millions, tens of millions, who've heard this show, laughed at it, and it's already happening. Folks going, man, I thought you were crazy 10 years ago. It all came true. Wait till the rest of this stuff starts happening. And so plant the seeds. Because right now, people are starting to wake up, but it's going to get more crazy, okay?
I agree, and I think you and your crew have done far more than you imagine to reawaken the spirit of liberty in this country. And you guys, I know you don't like thanks, but you all deserve so much of that.
Well, listen, listen. Sure, you can say, man, thank you so much for putting out the fire that was going to burn down my house. Your house is next door to mine. Now, I like you, my neighbor. I would put it out anyways if my house was down the street. But, I mean, I'm in there trying to put the fire out because the flames are coming over to my house. And see, that's the thing when I see cops follow orders that are unconstitutional. The cop's burning down his own house. He's burning down his own future. They've openly announced they're going to take all their pension funds when they're done. I mean, you people have no idea of those that serve this corruption. This thing's going all the way to the bottom. The globalists have a plan to absolutely bankrupt everybody but them. They're going to sit offshore and just carry out this havoc. They have a philosophy of neo-eugenics. And I could call it Nazism, but the Nazis got their system from these guys. These guys, though, walk around with NPR voices and limp wrist as a camouflage cover so you don't think they're threatening. These are savage, hardcore killers who like it. They are so dominant, so hyper-dominant, they have the ancient instinct to take control, poison, dumb down, and finally kill their opposition. This is total war with the banksters, okay? I want people to understand that. This is... Don't let the simpering voices and the fool you. These are dragons, and they come to eat you and your family. All right, I mean, look at history. We'll be right back with Bob Chapman, more of your phone calls, tons of key news straight ahead.